Hi guys, this is Legendarma TV. It's great to see you. Welcome back. 2020 is over. It's been amazing, but we are now in 2021. And I really hope you had amazing freaking holidays. You're well rested, you are prepared to just rock and roll and dominate in this new year. Like myself. So I figured, why not start 2021 with a major big video? And I figured we're gonna talk about Vindictus itself. Because the question that bothers everyone all the time is Vindictus worth playing? So in today's video of Is Vindictus worth playing in 2021, we are gonna pinpoint all the cons and pros that this game has. And I hope at the end of the video you will figure it out for yourself if you want to give it a try or, play it, or it's really just, not your thing. Please enjoy the video and let's roll. So what exactly is Vindictus? Vindictus is an action, dungeon-based, non-target combat system MMORPG. It has a total of 17 characters, gender-locked classes that you can try. Some of them actually do have 2 specializations, so they can either be, like if you're looking at the land right now, you can either be a twin sword land or a twin spear land, so there is a huge variety in the weapons. And this game is all about gearing your character and just going through the dungeons, defeating bosses, or just participating in raids where you are in the arena fighting them and trying to get some loots to upgrade your gear and deal the maximum amount of DPS. That's pretty much what this game is all about. In the video, you are going to see end game content. What this game is all about. Something that people don't usually show as much, so prepare to see different characters, how they're played, and what kind of bosses you can encounter. And we are going to start with the cons first. Why are we going to start with cons first? Because if you would be able to digest all the cons, and you will still be there, you probably might like the game more when we're going to get to the pros, to the good stuff that will actually make you be interested in the game and try it out. So we're going to start with cons. Let's go. One of the major cons that the game has is its performance. Vindictus is a hard capped at 60 FPS. You can go higher than that. Even with that, though, there is major problems with the FPS spikes and stuff, because Vindictus is built on Source Engine that is quite ancient, and it does create bugs, it does create freezes and different types of lags, because the engine itself is just so old. The developers are working on a 64-bit client, which rumored to actually smoothen the performance and make even the graphical quality a little bit better, but we'll have to see about that. It's not ready yet, so we need to wait. Vindictus also uses a single core of your PC, right, of your processor, so that's where it bottlenecks, and that's why you can't really have a stable 60 FPS all the time. So it's really annoying, and the stutters, the lag spikes, it will haunt you no matter what kind of PC you have. The worse PC you have, the more you're going to experience that. But at the same time, even if you have a NASA PC, right, like a super awesome badass rig, it's still going to be laggy, and you're still going to experience the FPS drops, which is annoying. But what can you do? Con number 2, IP block. Now, a lot of countries are actually banned from, even trying to play Vindictus. Like, you would download a Nexon launcher or just try to find the game in Steam library, but you can't. A lot of different countries are locked, and nobody knows why. Some speculate that they try, like Nexon is trying to just make sure that there is no much lag, much ping differences between players, but I really find that hard to believe, and so I don't quite understand, and nobody ever explained why the IP block is even there. How IP block affects the game and the player base. It means that less players are experiencing the game and be able to play it. So that results in a lower player base because it's just so many countries are just unable to play and experience this game. And it really sucks, and I really hope they're gonna address that maybe in the future or ever. It would be really awesome if they would just explain like why did they do that, and maybe they will just lift the IP block for many countries, and more people will be able to enjoy Vindictus as it is. Con number 3, peer-to-peer connection. Now, why is that a con? You see, peer-to-peer connection implies that whoever hosts a raid or a boat, they make them as a server, pretty much. So let's say you have a person who hosts from across the seas, and then the guy from the States joins that person, and they lag. They have 1 bar or 2 bar connection, which creates lag, which creates delay, and obviously ruins the experience for you. So it's there, and maybe it's just one of the things with the previous point, which is IP block. Maybe that's why IP block is there, because they have the peer-to-peer connection. But it would be really awesome if they had dedicated servers, but stable dedicated servers. Okay, hear me out here. Vindy actually does have 1 dedicated server that they are hosting, and that would be Royal Army Raids, and my god, that is laggy. If I would choose between dedicated servers like that versus the peer-to-peer connection, I would rather go with the latter, honestly. But still, as I said, peer-to-peer connection creates a huge difference in hosting and experiencing connection-wise from 1 to 5 bars, and sometimes even playing with 4 bars, you might actually get frustrated and just miss a hit or whatever. So it kind of ruins the experience as well. Con number 4, too much RNG. Now, in Vindy, everything is RNG. When it comes to enhancing, enchanting your gear, infusing it, or just trying to make some gold, or loot boxes, everything is just has this element of random, which gets quite annoying and makes a lot of people think that Vindictus is all about pay to win. Because if you want consistency, you have to pay for it. That's not entirely true. The thing is, there is such thing as pay to progress, and obviously it's optional. There are live examples of people who actually achieved quite high ranks and really awesome gear without spending a dime on this game. However, it still doesn't negate the fact that everything that you're going to encounter in Vindy is going to be tied to RNG. And it gets quite annoying and makes a lot of people actually quit the game because you can't rely on RNG all the time. So there is that. Con number 5, lack of guidance for new players. Now, the game obviously does have in-game tutorials that helps new players to better understand some of the mechanics, the core mechanics that the game has, but most of them are poorly explained, which creates a lot of confusion, and there is not a lot of information that would be useful for new players. Like, what are the enhancement rates exactly for different types of weapons? Plus 12, plus 13, plus 14, what is the percentage? Nobody knows that. Yeah. I'm not even talking about the binding system, fusion system, all of that. There was so many traps for new players that make them quit because they mess up, and the game doesn't really explain much how to do it, which makes people like me create different types of guides to help newer players to better understand what's going on and prevent them to make mistakes that we used to do from our experience. So yeah, the lack of guidance is there, and it does really affect new players because they get frustrated, they're lost, and it ruins the experience overall. Con number 6, content delays. Now, obviously, there are different servers. There is the main Korean server, and then there is Chinese server, there is NA server, there is Europe servers, and all the other servers, but Korean, are actually behind on the content. So whenever Koreans get something, in order for it to appear on NA and EU, we actually have to wait, which creates such thing as it's called content drought, where you're just stuck at the certain content for a long period of time. Sometimes it might be 3 months, 4 months, and it gets quite frustrating because you want to experience something new, a new raid battle or maybe a new mode or a new PvP thing, but it's never there and you have to wait all the time. So the content delays are actually quite frustrating. So in order to prevent that somehow, we really need these delays to actually be shortened to close the gap between Korean servers and the other servers. And lastly, for the cons, is the lack of sufficient support from the developers. This implies the promotion of the game. There's not enough promotion of it, and we don't really have a community manager. Some people do say that we do, but they never show up, they don't communicate as much with the community, and don't participate in community's life. Which is a great shame, because we would want, some updates or some explanation when there is delays or, there is unexpected maintenance or bug reports, anything. Also, there is a lack of community events that we have that, just would make the community get closer or get creative. Like what Chinese server does have is the outfit contests, where the players themselves create outfits that the winners lately get their outfits implemented into the game. So sometimes it just feels like the developers, they do content, right? They do some stuff, but they don't really pay much attention and put too much effort into it. So it's kind of bad, pretty bad. Now let us get to the pros, finally. If you're still watching, if you're still interested, you might like these. And the first pro that this game can offer is the combat system. And at this point, everyone knows that. Vindictus is quite unique with its combat system that has a huge potential. There are so many varieties of the weapons, of the strategies, different types of outcomes, because it's non-target and fancy moves, a lot of different stuff. It makes the combat really exciting and quite unique. You won't find this kind of combat system anywhere, to be honest. Some people do think that BDO is something that is close to Vindy, but I looked into it and it's quite different, way different than what Vindictus has. So yeah, it's a major ace in a sleeve of Vindy, and that's its combat system. It's quite unique, it's super hype, and if you just want to try Vindictus at least for once, try it for the combat system, because you're going to be amazed how cool it is. Next up would be graphics. And I know it's quite subjective, but given the fact that Vindictus is 10 years old, actually the graphics of the game still look pretty decent. And we're not even just talking about the characters themselves, they look amazing. It's also the boss designs, the arenas that you fight them in. All the destructible objects, all the animations, they still look pretty decent. So if you're not a huge graphics freak, you might actually find the graphics of Vindictus quite appealing, and you might enjoy them. Pro number 3 is music. I know that the majority of people who play Vindy, they have their music and in-game sounds off, but actually if you turn on the music, the BGMs for different battles, they are freaking amazing. Now, if there is one thing that what Nexon did really flawlessly is the BGMs. The in-game epic music that accompanies the battle itself creates that intention, that intensity, that that hype, that atmosphere whenever you fight a boss, and it really is top notch. If you never actually heard any of the BGMs that the game has, I highly recommend to check them out. You can find them on YouTube, and you'll be surprised how freaking awesome they are. Pro number 4 is fashion. Now, Vindictus has an enormous amount of different outfits, different skins, and the thing is, with the dye system that they have, that allows you to create different colors, different dyes, and dye your outfits or armor, and the ability to combo them with each other, creating unique looks, sick cosplays, is what makes fashion probably the second most interesting and cool features that Vindictus has. The fashion in this game is really awesome. You do have lewd outfits, really sexy ones. You have some serious ones. You have plate armors as well that make you look intimidating. So experimenting with all of that and creating unique looks, as I said, is what makes this game so good. Story. Now, Vindictus has a very interesting story. It's pretty dark. There is a lot of plot twists, a lot of battles with the gods, a lot of backstabs, a lot of betrayals, blood, and it's really quite dark game if you think about it. And at first, you might think that the story doesn't make a lot of sense, but the more you progress into it, the more you put more effort into it, you will actually start understanding what's going on, and you'll be surprised how freaking well written the story is. A lot of really interesting characters, a lot of battles, a lot of intensity. So if you are into lore, into the story, you might actually fall in love with this game. Also, on a side note, there is an opportunity for everybody to actually learn the backstory of their class. So if you're playing a character, you can actually learn what is their backstory, what happened to them, and what kind of relationships they have with the other mercenaries, with the other classes. So there's that. Well, the idea of an open world is always super hype and really cool. That allows you to explore, and just visit different places. Actually, I find that the dungeon-based system that is in Vindictus is actually amazing, because you just log in and 1 minute later you're already raiding with your friends. You don't need to go anywhere, you don't need to find entrances and stuff. I know it's quite subjective here to either the dungeon-based is good or not, but I feel like right here it's really just fitting for the game like Vindy. You just create a boat and depart, and boom, you're fighting. That's it. And lastly, for the pros, is the community itself. We do have a pretty tight but very helpful community. If you're a new player and you're seeking guidance for pretty much everything, you will find people that will be willing to take their time and help you out with pretty much everything. Just like every other community, of course, we do have bad apples. And it happens, right? There's always these kind of people, but I would say 95% of people that I've met in Vindy are really nice players, really nice, helpful people that would try and help you out with pretty much everything. Like whatever question you're gonna have, they will try to explain it as best as they can. Your character, general gameplay, like enhancing and stuff. Including myself, I create guides for Vindictus, so if you're looking for something specific, how to fight a specific boss, or some side content, you can actually browse my channel and find some videos, find some helpful videos that will answer your questions. With all that being said, with all the pros and the cons, and you know, obviously there is not all of them in this video, because I think if we would just go through all the pros and cons, the video would probably be twice as long as it already is. But it's, at the end of the day, it's all up to you, my friend, to choose. And do you want to give this game a try, or does it really not, attract you as much? It's all up to you. It's all a matter of taste. We'll have different tastes. But I've been asked a lot of times on my streams. It's like, is this game worth trying? And if you want to hear my opinion on that, it never hurts to try. Give it a go. Try to play for a little bit. Try to tell your friends that there is this game, so you can play together. Or maybe if your friends are not really interested into it, maybe you will find a really awesome guild with awesome people. And this is pretty much it, covering Vindictus itself. I really hope, guys, that this video will help you throughout the year of 2021 to decide if you want to give this game a go, or maybe if at some point you've dropped it, you quit it, to actually try and re-experience it. Maybe you will like it, or maybe not. Please do leave comments in the comment section below if you want to share a story, how you used to play Vindy, or what do you like about the game, or what pisses you off about the game. Please do share with me. I would gladly read all your stories and all your opinions on this game. Thank you so much for watching. This was Legendarma TV. Guys, I'm back. I am fully prepared, and I have a lot of plans. A lot of video guides are coming very shortly. Also, streaming is coming back as well, so tune in. Subscribe to YouTube channel, join my Discord, stop by Twitch as usual. Thanks for watching again. I love you all 3,000. You guys stay safe, okay? Love you. And I see you very, very soon. See ya.